My name is Deja, and I hope you find serenity.
I hope you find serenity. I hope you find serenity.
Greetings, y'all. So, a few months ago, I traveled to Kenya to do a plant medicine ceremony with this plant called Iboga. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, I wasn't familiar until 2024 as to what Iboga even was. But it's like the root of this tree that only grows in Central Africa. And it's like the grandfather of psychedelics, extremely potent. It's typically used in a lot of the research done on it. It's used a lot for people who are battling heroin addiction. And it really helps to reset the body and to help people to, it's a macaw. And to help people to release that type of addiction. But of course, it can be used for other things as well. It can be used for any type of healing and also for deep realizations. And one of the common things that happens when you are using Iboga medicine, in particular in a high dose, is that you receive visions. So I went for ceremony. I did 2 ceremonies, and both of them lasted 3 nights. So that's 3 nights of taking medicine. Each night you start at midnight. You take the medicine, and it lasts a long time. I mean, I'm talking about maybe 12 hours of time where you are feeling the medicine. And don't mind the sound of my feet crunching. I'm taking my dogs on a walk. So yeah, for me it lasted about 12 hours. Like, started at midnight, took the medicine, and not until noon the next day did I start to feel like, okay, I'm starting to come back to myself. So it's not for the weak. It's a very intense medicine, but at least for me personally, it was an amazing experience. Not everyone is different. Not everyone has profound visions when they take this medicine, but for me, it was extremely visual. I mean, it was just vision after vision after vision, just intense, powerful visions, seeing like scenes. I want to compare it to like seeing a movie, but it was beyond even that, because the concepts and the colors and the detail of everything was just so vibrant and alive. And me, I'm just laying down peacefully and quietly while the medicine man's playing music, but I am in this journey that is potent. So I wanted to share with y'all one of the visions that I had during my Iboga journey. I had tons, thousands of visions. However, this one really stood out to me, and I've been processing it a lot since I had the ceremony. So my first night of using the medicine, the overall theme with all of my visions, well, there were 2 themes. One was like this loop. So every single vision in some way started or began with some kind of circle, and it was a loop. Like, it started me on something and it showed me the fullness of something, and then it completed it, and then it would like spin away, and then the new vision would spin in. So everything was related to a loop. Everything started and ended with a circle, and it showed me that that was one of the like kind of designs of this reality, was this circle, this loop, this endless loop. And the other theme of the first night was basically how the world was created and understanding humanity and all of our chaos. So it showed me like the beginning of time. It showed me how life was created. And it also showed me like how we became so chaotic and all these different things through a variety of different visions. Oh my gosh, like even as I start to tell you, there are so many visions that I want to share. But for this, I'm just going to share one that was super potent, and it's pretty extensive. So for this vision, I saw in the beginning of time that all of the people were either the color blue, the color red, or the color yellow. So, and I'm talking complete, their full entire body would be completely blue, like a dark kind of blue, completely bright red, or completely bright yellow, their entire body. No separation about the hair or anything. So I saw basically this track. Again, like I said, everything had this theme of a loop. I saw this track, and there were these groups of people, and it was like rainbow people. And it started off with the blue, the red, and the yellow people. But then I had like kind of side visions that would always come back to this, where you would see like a blue man and a red woman holding a purple baby, you know, or like an orange and a yellow and a red person holding an orange baby. So then you started to see like, okay, the colors started to mix. So then around this track walked groups of people. And it would be like a group of yellow people, group of orange, group of green, group of purple, group of red, group of blue. And they were walking in big huddles, like in family groups. So I'd say maybe I saw like 20 or 30 of each color. But they were all lined up like perfectly with one another. And they're just walking around this track. And it starts to get a little bit faster. And then suddenly I'm watching the same vision, and now I see a little boy who is brown, who's like a darker brown, like darker than me, a dark brown, popped out and is standing in front of the whole entire group. And he's the only one who's walking alone, and everyone is behind him. And suddenly this little boy starts running really fast around the track, and everyone's running with him. All the different colored people are running with him. And now they're all running around the track, and it starts to go really fast. And then suddenly all the people transform. And even in this part of the vision, like the blue people, there were different shades of blue. There were different shades of red. There were different shades of orange and yellow and green. But at this point, once everyone started running, you know, it's spinning and spinning and spinning around this loop. And then suddenly everyone becomes different shades of brown, all different shades of brown. And it was basically showing me that that's how we became our different races and our different colors. At this point in the visions, there are no white people. This is what I was perceiving as I was, you know, in this was the beginning of time. And this was how we became brown. Was because we started off being like the colors that we see in nature, and then it all started to mix. And when you mix all the colors together, what do you get? You get brown. So it really blew my mind that this happened, like to see something like this, because it also made so much sense. And I had another vision. I can't remember if it was right before or right after. I think it was right after this one, where I saw, it was kind of like this kind of empty desert type of place, but there was this huge hole in the earth, right? Enormous hole in the earth. And then these tribes of the people of the different colors started to arrive. So the group of red people, the group of yellow, the group of green, all these things. And they each had like a big, strong man in the front. So like the red people had this big, strong man, and he's holding this big, like wood tablet that's carrying all these bricks. They look like they're made of clay, but they're like solid bricks that are the color of their tribe. So like all the red bricks, all the yellow, all the blue. And these people are coming together. And for all of them, now I can see their features more, and their features look kind of like, don't do it. And their features are looking like, you know, all different varieties of features, different size noses, different shapes eyes, and different size lips and things like that. But they come and they are all circle around this huge hole in the earth, and they throw all their bricks. Each one by one drops all of their bricks into this hole until the hole is filled with all these rainbow colored bricks. And then everyone surrounding the hole, they go hand by hand. They grab one another's hands. And they're just like kind of singing or like kind of humming together or like praying or meditating. I don't know exactly what it was I saw, but it was like a hum, but it seemed more like a meditation than a song. And again, it was showing me like the unity of humanity was something that I kept seeing throughout this part of the theme. And the visions went on throughout this theme, where I saw myself always covered in bright red clay. Like it was clay because it was thick and it was even dripping down. And I saw myself covered in clay, and I would be like walking around. I saw myself on a bus, like on a public bus, and I'm just happy. And even my locks were completely covered in red clay. And I'm just looking out the window and I'm smiling really big. And then I saw like a blue man get onto the bus, and it was like he was my friend and I knew him, and I went up to him. I was getting off, he was getting on, and I like gave him a hug, and I like kissed his cheek and he kissed my cheek. And so he left a little blue on me, I left a little red on him, and even on our bodies, like he left some blue on my body, I left some red on his body. And then I got down off the bus. And again, like all of this was showing me like, wow, this is where we all really come from. And I mean, me, obviously I'm a light-skinned Black person, and I'm not mixed. My parents, grandparents, great-grandparents are all Black people. So for me, I've always resonated with like the color red. And in the dreams, in the visions, I kept seeing myself as red. So I saw myself as a descendant of red people. Obviously, I've mixed in with other colors of people too. However, I saw that as being like my strongest ancestry was this relation to this red, this color red. And not even as a form of separating me from anybody else, but just as a form of like seeing where I came from and like how I became the color that I am. So this was a deep, deep experience. I know it was a lot. I know it was a mouthful, but let me know what y'all think.